Hello YouTube. Today I'm going to be making a video talking about my different survival gear. It's probably going to be a 4-part series. This first one will be focused on everyday carry, and I think how I'm going to do it is probably go in sections of like periphery, like what's closest to me. So like EDC, that's the stuff you have right on your body, you have every day. Then I'll probably do my car kit plus my get home bag, which I keep in my car, and then it'll go into bug out bag, which I keep at my house, and then miscellaneous things in my house, which I would like consider like survival gear. So I'll go ahead and get right into it and show you my EDC. So with this, the EDC, since it's stuff you carry right on you, you want it to be more practical, like you want it to be stuff that you would use more, because if it's stuff that you don't use all the time, you're kind of going to get burnt out and you're not going to carry it. And plus, even just carrying the things you do use every day, it takes up a lot of pocket space. So the first thing I have here is my knife. It's a TAC 4 Speedster model. It's a pretty cheap knife. I think you can get it on Amazon for $25. I like it a lot. It's pretty practical, especially for how cheap it is. It has, you can see right there, the first part of the blade is serrated, which is nice if you're like sawing something. And then it also has a bunch of other nice features which come in handy, like there's a bottle opener right here. There's a flathead screwdriver on the end, which could also be a glass breaker. It just has lots of like little added tools on it, which are pretty nice and do come in handy quite a bit. The next thing, this is probably the thing I carry the least actually. I'm pretty good about carrying everything else, but if I have small pockets, this is the first thing that goes, and this is my light. I'm not entirely sure of the brand. I got it from Bass Pro. It came in a 2-pack. I think it was like $4. I wouldn't really recommend this one. This would probably be the first thing that I upgrade. It doesn't have a ton of lumens. It takes 2 AA batteries, but one big problem is it tends to like turn on in my pocket, and then my light uses up all my batteries, and then when I go to turn it on, the batteries are dead. So I do like having an extra light, but I think I'm going to swap this one out. So next, these are things that if I don't have anything else here, I most likely have this, and that's my keys. So on my keys, I have this extra small light. Again, it's not super bright, but it's pretty nice, and this is probably the tool out of all of these I end up using the most, because it's always like you're dropping something behind the couch or whatever, and you can't see it, and you got to use this light. It comes in handy quite a bit. It also adds some redundancy, which is nice. And then I have this small little pocket knife that clips onto my keys. I think this knife, I've had it for years. I think I got it for like $1. It's like Chinese mystery steel. It's not super nice quality, but it's nice for like opening boxes or whatever, if I don't want to dull my nicer knife and then have to resharpen it all the time. And this one's so short that, you know, if I'm in some place where I can't carry a weapon or whatever, like I can probably get away with carrying this, and sometimes not my other knife, so that's pretty nice. Yeah, just like a nice little thing to have. I like having a little keychain knife. And then I have my wallet, so everyone has a wallet, you know, but what makes it like an EDC and makes it a little bit different is I keep a lot of extra cash in here, because you never know, like if things start turning south, you know, maybe debit cards won't work, maybe your debit card gets declined for some reason, you're trying to get somewhere, like cash is always just good to have on you. You just want to make sure you don't leave your wallet anywhere, because then you'll be out more cash. And then another thing I keep in my wallet is one of these, like, I believe this is like $1 from Walmart. It's like a little wallet multi-tool set. It has a can opener. It has like a little blade. It might be kind of hard to see that. It has like a blade on the top, bottle opener, different hex wrenches. I think it's like a manual compass, and then more hex wrenches down here. Flathead screwdriver. Then it has a little spot where you could like loop string through, like make a lanyard or whatever. But this is just pretty nice to have. It has a lot of tools on it. Comes in handy every so often, but it doesn't take up much room, and it doesn't weigh very much, and it doesn't cost very much, so I may as well just throw it in there. The next thing is probably like the least practical item I have, but I still definitely wouldn't want to go without it, and that's my gun. I have it's a Taurus PT-111 Millennium Gen 2. It's a 9mm, holds 12+1. This is the first handgun I got. I got it for Christmas, and it has a inside the waistband holster, which is good for concealed carry. I like this gun a lot because I'm not like a super big guy, and it still conceals really well. Versus where if I had something larger, it'd be a lot harder for me to hide it. It shoots good. It's not super expensive. I think you can get them for like $250, but I think I've fired almost 500 rounds through it and haven't had a single misfire, so it's pretty reliable. And then I carry a spare magazine too for it with hollow points. The next thing is my Apple Watch, which is nothing special, but it kind of helps save some of the battery on my phone because I'm not having to pull my phone out so much. I can just like pop up, look at my watch, and I don't know, I like having it. It's not a super like survival-y item, but you should have a watch. Then my next item you can't see because I'm like using it to film right now is my phone. You know, obviously your phone is very important for like communication and like getting on the internet, like normal things you do with it, but I also have a few different apps downloaded that make it more like useful or like survival or whatever. I have several different map apps that you can like save stuff to your phone. I think one is called like Topo Maps and shows different topographical maps. So along my bug out route, I have all the topographical maps saved so I can, you know where the high ground is and that kind of thing, help me navigate better. I also have some different survival handbooks that you can download for free. I think it's like the Army Survival Manual. You can download for free on the App Store. Yeah, it's an iPhone 8. I also have Next Radio, which even if the internet's down, as long as like radio stations are still broadcasting, you can still pick up signal from those, which is pretty cool. In the event of an emergency, like the phone tower's down, you can still kind of like communicate and know what's going on without having a dedicated radio. So as far as improvements, I think the next things I would do would be to get a different flashlight for one. I kind of already talked about that. Maybe something a little bit smaller, a little bit slimmer, so I'll carry it more. That's brighter and more reliable. And I would like to have another knife too to kind of switch out with this one. This one isn't very, I wouldn't really think of it as like a fighting knife. It's more of like a utility knife, and so if there's times where you're ever in like a dangerous area, you might want to, it'd be nice to switch it out for something that was more like fighting oriented, with maybe like a like one of those rings on it, like maybe a karambit or something like that, like a retention ring, so you can hold on to it better. And those are like the most immediate upgrades I see. One thing to keep in mind when you're carrying all this, like it does get kind of bulky, so if you're going to carry it every day, like you want to make sure you're wearing either like jeans with like nice big pockets on each side, and that helps you spread it out easier, or shorts, like probably like cargo shorts with lots of pockets, or else it just kind of clumps up and it's really hard to get to all your stuff, which especially like, if I have my extra mag in one pocket and I'm ever using that, I don't want to have to like dig through my whole pocket to find it. I want to be able to just pull it out real quick, slide it in and go. You don't want to waste any seconds. Well, I think that about wraps it up, so have a good day.